Hello, thanks for joining me. In this video, I have a mini flow for you, and the idea behind it is reach. So we'll be reaching in the asanas that we do in this short flow. A reminder before we get started that each body is different, and even our own bodies can feel different from day to day. So please practice with your own discretion. Let's begin. We'll start out with a few sun A's, and then we'll take a flow on each side, and then we'll end with a short cool down. So for our sun A's, let's begin at the top of your mat or your space if you're not using mat today. In Tadasana, we want our feet hip width apart, our shoulders back, our head, shoulders, hips, ankles, all in alignment. Roll your shoulders back. Find that strong Tadasana mountain pose as we begin here. On an inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back into a plank pose. Take a breath here. On your next exhale, lower down through Chaturanga Dandasana to the mat. Inhale, Cobra. Exhale, Downward Facing Dog. In your down dog, you should not be able to see your heels. Your toes are pointing toward you. The weight in your hands, try to have it not so much in your wrists, but more kind of gripping with your fingers, the mat. Your shoulders are pulled away from your ears, almost as if somebody is gently placing their palm on the top of your back. Your ears are in alignment with your biceps. You can kind of shake your head side to side to check that. Just take some breaths here. You can pedal out your calves as we take this short flow, short warm up. Find some stillness. And you can come to the front of your mat, both feet between your hands into a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms up overhead, Urdhva Hastasana, and then bring them down. Bring your hands down to your sides. And your next inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back into that plank pose. On your next exhale, lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana to the mat. Inhale, Cobra, and then exhale, Downward Facing Dog. Find that alignment in your down dog. Your heels do not need to be touching the mat in down dog. It's more about finding that length kind of through your armpits almost and bringing your hips high to the sky. And we'll just take one more breath in and out. On your next inhale, step your feet forward again between your hands to a halfway lift. You want your back flat here. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms all the way up, and then down to your heart center, and then at your sides. So we'll explore some reaching in some asanas as we move through this next sequence. Arms up overhead and sit back to chair. In chair, you want your arms reaching almost to the corner where the wall and the ceiling meet. Shoulders are pulled away from your ears. Weight is in your heels, so you should be able to bring your toes up. On an exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. On an exhale, step your right foot into warrior two. So in our warrior two, our back foot is parallel with the back of the mat. Our front toes are facing forward. We have a bend in our left knee here. Our hips are facing, usually if you're very open, face forward, but facing to the long side of your mat. Arms reaching out both ends of the room. And our gaze is over our left hand. On an inhale, reverse your warrior. Bring your left arm up. Your right hand can be resting on your right leg, or you can take a bind. Make sure you keep that bend in the front knee, reaching with that top arm. We'll transition to side angle. So don't move anything on the bottom. Just move your arms and come and bring your right arm up overhead to reach. Your left arm very gently placed on your thigh. You want to reach, really think about reaching from the outside of your right foot to your fingertips. We're going to transition again. That front leg, straighten the front leg, and we'll move and bring our arms back to reverse triangle. So reaching again, you can take the bind, our left arm up, and just breathe. Don't forget to breathe as we're holding these asanas and reaching. And let's come and flow back to triangle. So don't move anything on the bottom. You can have a little micro bend in that front knee and find length here, reaching toward the ground. If you can reach the ground, that's great. You don't have to. It's more about reaching and finding that spine alignment, feeling strong. From triangle, we'll come down to downward facing dog. Take a breath in and a breath out. And we'll take that on the other side. So this time our right foot will lead to warrior two. Come up. And I'm going to turn around just so my back is not facing you the whole time. So we have our right foot forward. We're reaching in this warrior two. I'm looking forward. Breathing, feeling strong, feeling that strength in our legs and our arms, our back. We'll reverse the warrior without moving anything on the bottom, keeping that bend, reaching our right arm up toward the corner where the ceiling meets the wall, taking that bind if you'd like, or keeping your arm straight. without moving anything in our legs. Keep making sure we have that bend. We'll transition to side angle. Reaching, maybe pulling our left shoulder back a bit. Our gaze up, reaching. And we'll flow to reverse triangle. So straightening your right leg and bringing your arms opposite reach. So now your right arm is reaching up and back. Breathing. And let's take triangle. So don't move anything on the bottom. We're just flowing with the top of our body, our arms, our torso, reaching that top arm up, the bottom arm down. Breathing. Finding ease and strength is what we want here. And then let's come down to downward dog. Hips high. We're also reaching here. We're reaching our hips high to the sky, pulling our shoulders away from our ears. So we have a nice flat upper back and a tall, long spine. And just take a breath here. On your next inhale, step both feet forward. The halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale back into that chair pose. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out. Inhale, arms up overhead. Take a slight back bend here. And then bring your arms down to your side for Tadasana. Just bring your arms up overhead in that Urdhva Hastasana. Let's take a side stretch. So grab your right wrist with your left hand and gently reach over to the side, reaching, feeling that stretch in that side body. And breathing always. Sometimes it's easy to forget when you hold our breath. And come back up, arms, both arms straight to the sky. And let's take the opposite side. So your left arm is reaching up and over, stretching that side body there. And come back to the center. And let's come down to Malasana. So in Malasana, our feet are a little bit wider than our hips. And we'll just lower down. So you might be here, or you might feel more comfort coming all the way down. If you have a block, you can always sit on the block. You can kind of push your elbows into your knees, trying not to round too much in your back, but thinking, reaching your crown of your head to the sky. Taking a few breaths here. Let's come down into a seated pose briefly, and then make your way back on your back to your back. on your mat. And let's hug our knees into our chest and rock side to side. Just appreciating the time that we had to take this short flow, short yoga practice. Find stillness. Bring your both feet to the mat. And let's take a brief waterfall. So both legs lift up. Your arms can be at your sides. Roll your shoulders back so your shoulder blades are meeting the mat. Stamp your feet like you're trying to reach to step on the ceiling. Your toes can be trying to come toward your face. This is a great pose to help with blood flow. We were doing a lot of standing poses, although it was a short practice. It's good to find the counterbalance. Your next exhale, you can bring your knees down and rock. Either you can come up into a seat or you can rock on your spine just a few times. Sometimes this feels silly, but it feels good, feels good as well. And then come all the way up to seated and find a comfortable seat here. We'll just take a few breaths here. Not a full shavasana for this mini flow, but just notice our breath. Appreciate the time that we had, that we took to get on our mats or in our space to practice our yoga, which helps us to connect our breath with our movement, which has so many benefits. So thank you for joining me. I hope this short flow offered some connection and peace, and that you can carry that throughout your day. Until next time, take care.